think we're going to throw a little flask over here. Seems appropriate. So I'm using Laguna's Gray Stone. I think the shrink rate on that's about 12%. So it'll be kind of fun. I'm going to do a narrow, tall one. And if you look over here, I already rolled out a slab that's going to go on the bottom of that. So I'm going to throw this as a bottomless form. So we want to get that centered up, right? So I'm pushing at 7 o'clock and karate chopping at 4. Bring that up. So we're going to call that kind of centered. We're going to push in that bottom skirt. I want to be able to use as much of that clay as I can. Get that nice and wet. Going to open, so I do my little butterfly. Goes for a drink. Go hand over hand, I'm going to go all the way down to the base. So if you were looking over my shoulder, you would see that I went all the way down to the back. And now I'm pulling open slightly so I can get about 3 fingers in there. And now we're going to pull that wall up. So I'm going to push here at the bottom, make a little ring so I can grab that clay to pull it up. Lift that clay up. Press my rim. And as I'm pulling, I always want to pull toward my left shoulder. That's going to allow me to get a taller cylinder because it's going to keep it from flaring out. I wish I could say I came up with that on my own, but I'm sure somebody told that to me. So we've got about a pound of clay there. So I could go a little taller, I guess. Push a little there. I want to be careful with that bottomless form that I leave enough clay so that I don't accidentally pull that vessel off the back. Press that rim real nice. So I'm going to come back with my rib here. I'm going to smooth that out really nice. I don't mind the throwing marks, but they're not my favorite. Some nice smooth movement there. I tend to use this Lockerbie wheel when I teach because I like the fact that all my tools are within reach. And I don't necessarily find that as much with some of the other wheels. This gives me a bigger platform for my stuff. Okay, so I'm going to make this flask by essentially making a bottomless bottle. So the other night when we posted, before they told us we had to close because of the virus thing, I made a really big bottle. That was kind of fun. Hopefully that'll go into the kiln later today or tomorrow or something. Alright, so I'm going to start by coloring the top of this. If I can train this top to go in a little bit, in theory, when I start to collar the form to make the neck of my spout, the neck of my bottle, it won't balloon up. Using this rib here. It's just that little standard rib that you get in all your basic pottery toolkits. I cut mine in half. Gives me nice sharp edges, so if I want to make some marks in my pot, I can. You just have to be careful because it's really easy to get that stuck underneath your fingernail. And then people will notice that you're saying a lot of foul words. So basically what we're doing is we're going to make almost a closed form. So I'm just training that clay over. Whenever I'm closing, just think about all those like pinky up jokes. That's starting to wrinkle. I guess we'll get rid of that. You know what they say. Sometimes you just have to force it. Okay. So I got a little more material there. Bring that in and over. Smooth that out a little bit. Okay, if I really want this to be a flask, right? I need to think about how wide that fork is going to be. And yeah, you can always trim down a fork to be whatever size you want it to be. But it's definitely something you should kind of think about. So I'm getting all the water, all the moisture, all the slip off of this on the outside. I'm going to come back over and I'm going to trim that top yet again. And this is a really basic flask. Like I'm not going to do anything crazy with it. I don't think. I might decorate it because what else do we have to do, right? I'm going to pronounce that neck on this flask just a little more. It's got a nice profile. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pop this on. So you see it's nice and bottomless, right? Flatten it out a little bit. And then I'm going to come back with my fettling knife. And I'm going to give this a little Martha Grover action. And my vessel is actually pretty even. My rim is a little smaller, a little thinner. That's not so bad. And set this here for a second so I can start to set up. I'm going to grab my slab over here. And I'm going to massage that area that I'm going to use. And what I want to do is I want to make that nice, smooth. If I have any air bubbles, I'm going to come back and I'm going to pop those. Okay. Going to flip that over and do that side. In all reality, my base should probably be a little thicker, but it's okay. We'll all live through it together. So I'm going to take this area where those two pieces of clay are going to map up. And I'm just going to take off a little bit of that excess clay and drop it on the thing that I just smoothed out because it's part of the course. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to slip and score the base of this. And I'm going to take my slab of clay and I'm very gently going to press it up against the base then. You see it made a nice mark for me. Now I'm going to come back with my fettling knife and I'm going to trim that up. Now I'm going to make it a little bigger than it really needs to be. Over here and I'm going to squish down these edges just a little bit. These are going to be the ones. This edge is a little wider than my vessel. I'll lift that up. And I'm going to score along this edge. And as I'm scoring, I'm taking some slip from the bottom of my throwing bucket, adding that to there. By doing that, it should help my bottom stick on really nice. And then I'm going to come back here with my sponge. I'm just going to clean up that a little bit just because I don't want those score marks at the inside of that vessel. Somebody decides they're going to make a mixed cocktail in there. You don't want the orange juice pulp to stick in there or whatever. So I line that back up. Okay. So you can see how that all comes together, right? I'm going to come back now with my fettling knife and I'm going to start to massage these two together. So I'm just taking just a little bit of that clay from the body and mushing that down. And I want to go all the way around. I know, that's the really exciting part to watch. Right? Okay, so now I'm going to flip that upside down, and I'm going to take a wooden rib, or my paddle, and I'm very gently going to paddle these two together. Right? as I'm paddling, I'm always pulling that away, that I'm kind of stretching the clay. Right? And now I'm going to come back and I'm going to use my red rib now. I'm going to take and I'm going to start to massage all of this together. And then after I'm finished with this, what I'll do is I'll take a paintbrush as soon as it gets to be a little closer to leather hard and clean up the edges of that foot a little bit. So I know that under here, right, we're all potters, we all look at the foot on everybody else's pot. So I want to make sure that my foot is, even though it's not necessarily trimmed in a traditional way, I want that foot to look and feel interesting. And I love the idea that I can see a little bit of light under there. And by doing this little action here, while I'm massaging that foot, massaging that foot bottom up against the walls like that, I'm getting some really beautiful undulation. So it's starting to look kind of fun. And I can come in and I can be a sculptor. And I can start to make that interesting. When I watched Martha Grover do this, and her and I talked about it, you know, her bottoms of her vessels where they're all undulating, she does that form over and over and over again. So hers are perfect. I know for myself, I don't do this that often. So mine are always a little bit more abstract, loose, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, after this sets up a little bit, I'll come back with a paintbrush, a nice stiff paintbrush, and clean up that line and make it a little more interesting. Maybe do a little decorating on this. Make sure my spout is nice and round. I don't know if you'll be able to sneak this into a football game or not, but there you go. Now it looks a little bit more like a flask. There you go. It's kind of fun, right? All right. Send us some photos of the ones you guys have made at the number 4, the word information at playartsvegas.com. Stay safe, everybody.